The night Gennady Golovkin faced a true disaster in the ring.
Just tight, Sergio. Derevyanchenko up the middle.
He barely survived.
Pounding on Golovkin. Hooks to the head. Golovkin is wobbled. Good defensive work. And let's go to the tail of the tape. Gennady Golovkin getting ready for the main event. He is 37 years of age.
October 5th, 2019, Madison Square Garden, New York. A massive night of boxing with the main event featuring two fighters from the former Soviet Union. Kazakhstan's Gennady Golovkin was set to challenge for the IBF middleweight world title against Ukraine's Sergei Derevyanchenko. Who would have thought that what seemed like another routine title fight would turn into a true test of survival for Golovkin? Every round could cost him everything. But let's start from the beginning. By 2018, the 37-year-old Golovkin was still a living legend of the middleweight division, but time was catching up to him, and his potential opponents were becoming more dangerous. By that year, Golovkin had already endured two grueling fights against Canelo Alvarez. The first ended in a controversial draw.
Right through it. Puts him back against the ropes. It's been a great first half of the ninth round. Hard right hand by Golovkin. Another one. Golovkin finishes with a small round. Officially a draw.
And the second, a bitter defeat.
Lands for Triple G.
Good body shot by Canelo at the same time.
Alvarez lands power shots and rear six brawl. Shot. Golovkin with a right hand.
New WBC, WBA.
He lost his titles, his undefeated record, and perhaps something even deeper inside. However, fate gave him a second chance to reclaim at least one of his lost belts. After Canelo vacated the IBF title, Golovkin was offered a fight for it. His opponent, Sergei Derevyanchenko, an experienced but not necessarily elite-level boxer. It seemed like an easy task for Triple G, but reality was much harsher. But who the hell is Sergei Derevyanchenko? Derevyanchenko wasn't just another title challenger. He was a Ukrainian fighter with an extensive amateur background, over 400 amateur fights, an Olympian, and a winner of numerous international tournaments. He was known for being tough, technical, and relentless. In 2018, he had already fought for the IBF title, but lost a close decision to Daniel Jacobs, a fight many believed he had been robbed.
And we've given New York another classic to
Daniel, Miracle Man!
Going into the fight with Golovkin, Derevyanchenko was more motivated than ever. His loss to Jacobs had hardened him, making him stronger and more determined. He changed his training, adjusted his approach, and refined his weaknesses. This was his second shot at a world title, and he wasn't just looking to seize the opportunity. He was willing to do whatever it took to win. Golovkin, on the other hand, didn't look like himself. At the weigh-in and on fight night, he seemed pale, drained, like he had nothing left in the tank. The weight cut had clearly taken its toll on him. No one paid much attention to it at the time, but they should have.
To prove he's still among the elite. We're underway, round one, here at the Garden.
The opening round looked just as most had predicted. Golovkin dropped Derevyanchenko with a sharp right hook to the head.
60 pounds, 107.2 pounds. Get on the second. Whoa! And down he goes, the uppercut. Starts the free fall.
Soon after, he opened a nasty cut over the Ukrainian's right eye. It looked like the fight was about to end. A few more rounds, and the doctor would have no choice but to stop it. But something wasn't right. Every move seemed harder for Golovkin. Every attack lacked its usual sharpness. His face showed the frustration of a man asking himself, "Why can't I finish it?"
Continues to have success with the jab, and now firing off a combination on Triple G. Good body work by Derevyanchenko. He goes to the body again with the right hand. He's been very effective, and he goes to the head. There's so much, yeah. I mean, they've got to hope. I mean, the first time we saw it, we wondered too, could there be? We are starting to hear word. There's a possibility that
expect this to be a really big and interesting round right here. Derevyanchenko's fighter.
Final minute of the second round. Another lead hook and a body shot by Triple G. Could end any minute.
Golovkin's not having a great night, but Derevyanchenko, he fought really well.
Jabbing consistently. Golovkin that time with a three-punch.
Your eyebrows down. I mean, your eyelashes.
He's got to keep the guard up as well, and his right hand up there. Derevyanchenko still effective with the jab.
I love those body shots by Derevyanchenko and getting the angle on Golovkin.
He's going to work.
To everyone's surprise, Derevyanchenko didn't let the cut become a major issue. Instead, he turned the fight into something Golovkin had never experienced before. Not against Canelo, not against Jacobs. From rounds 3 to 5, Derevyanchenko dominated, battering Golovkin with relentless pressure. He knew the cut could force the fight to be stopped at any moment, so he fought like a man possessed. The motivation was off the charts. Golovkin, on the other hand, looked confused.
But he is starting to bleed there. There's a hook off the
Fighters have had success against Golovkin. Get him the inside, bang him to the body, and back him up.
That cut becomes basically a target, doesn't it? I mean, that's what you're aiming for every single time you go to the head.
You tear that
As
cut
a boxer, fighting with a cut is kind of a skill, isn't it?
good combination by Derevyanchenko. Fighting on fire. He needs fire. And there should be no greater motivation than right here with this man.
Good body shots, counter body shots. I want to see a lot more of that. Yes, he has, and I love seeing that. That's the only way you beat Golovkin. You got to take him to the
Championship 12. I mean, he is just methodical and powerful.
Not great, but you can survive the entire fight with that type of cut.
To us right now. Again, they get through this round, and at least we wouldn't expect that. So he's got to get some rounds to the bank if he hopes to win, and he is already in the hole. Jab in boxing. Lands over 30% of his jabs in there.
This is going to be an interesting round right here.
Got everything going against him so far as he lands a shot to the body.
Thank you, BK. We had a chance to speak to Rozier.
He doesn't even have to wind up to hit you hard. You know, it looks like he's just placing his shots, and he can do damage.
I love Golovkin. He had some good success. Landed an overhand right on Golovkin. Which is what you're supposed to do. Back up the monster and go to the body.
Golovkin now.
I love the way Derevyanchenko has responded to adversity. Having some success with his combinations, and it starts with a body punching, making Golovkin miss just like that.
3 more good jabs. Cut back.
Backing up.
And I think it will get worse as Golovkin with that jab.
As he hits him again, then right hand after jab as well.
That does change things. Now they go to this.
Been managed by Derevyanchenko's corner. A constant Derevyanchenko has the advantage, especially earlier on with that hard hook.
Weigh-in at the 170-pound limit, the second-day weigh-in. Had to strip down to
There are a number of doctors up there on the ring apron. I mean, his offense is just tight, Sergio. Look at that. And hard shot to the body. Golovkin is wobbled. Golovkin, listen, he's got rhythm. Golovkin will try to take it away. The championship. Thank you so much. In that
As the fight reached its midpoint, Golovkin began to wake up. The favorite started landing heavier shots, even through Derevyanchenko's guard, but the Ukrainian always found a way to answer back. From rounds 6 to 9, the fight was razor close, and some even had Golovkin edging it. In theory, the last 3 rounds should have been where Golovkin pulled ahead, securing the victory.
With the right hand, and then comes back with a hook to the head. Just good first. These judges are looking at this so closely, and these are difficult rounds to score. Golovkin is just not busy to it, and maybe the judges can as well. Derevyanchenko goes.
Golovkin took 2 deep breaths right now. I don't know if those body shots are
coming out aggressive, and he's just going to have to show more. Golovkin is forced to move back. That rarely happens.
Thank you, BK. I just had a quick chat with Jonathan Banks. There's sense of urgency in this corner.
Level of his sickness, if he was ill, just not feeling great. A little less start.
This fight, it could be stopped at any time.
That's a good point. Good point. Doctors are going to take. And Gennady Golovkin pull this out. He is being severe.
Didn't finish what I was saying earlier about how Golovkin is physically. He did miss the first.
Is outstanding. Straight up the middle with the right hand comes Golovkin.
And make sure that he can finish off the rounds.
And he started short. Derevyanchenko the last 3 rounds has had an edge in power shots, 45 buckled him. That was buckled for Golovkin. You just wonder who has the deeper reservoir.
It's incredible.
And if he gets just 1 more round, he could win a decision.
Gennady Golovkin has done outstanding work here in this fight, and that body shot, again, that was a wounded Triple G, and we've rarely good rounds. Golovkin has had success as well. These are tough rounds.
70 pounds. That's unusual for Gennady Golovkin. So could it forebode something
Take it away from him. And now we go to work. Derevyanchenko is just missed with the hook. Is solid, straight up the middle, with his hooks, with his right hands, and with that ever-present jab. With the jab and following up the right hand. Suddenly things change to the head by Derevyanchenko. He has had a tremendous fighting spirit in this fight. Again, he had every reason. That right hand was blocked. That one as well. Crowd is reacting.
One thing about Golovkin, he has never been a prolific body puncher.
And they're throwing hard body shots at every turn. It digs to the body expected. Although we should learn in this building that that can happen.
That's what Derevyanchenko and Andre Rozier expected.
Jab. Again, I mentioned he's got the most accurate jab in the game, but he is being out-jabbed in this fight. Hard right hand.
But in the 10th and championship rounds, Derevyanchenko, despite his exhaustion, increased the pace again. He stood toe-to-toe with the once-feared middleweight destroyer, giving him no room to breathe. The crowd erupted. Someone in the front row shouted, "Golovkin is fading!"
Derevyanchenko fires back straight up the middle. 3 jabs in a row. Combinations.
Him up. That's key. And that was game plan and strategy on Andre Rozier.
Have emptied the tank. But they're trying. Straight up the middle. Golovkin's left cheek is reddened and starting to puff up.
This is their last chance. Sergey Derevyanchenko is fighting like he knows this is his last chance.
He has put it. Well, they think they could be behind, Chris, and I think that's a natural thought, given that there was.
One thing this reminds me of, Brian, if you go back to the spring of 2018,
A lot of official scorecard for us. A lot of these rounds, Chris, is it fair to say, could swing either way?
Several of them.
Straight up, Derevyanchenko has to take a big gulp of air. He had the one big shot against Daniel Jacobs. He fought well, but came up short. He starts to have success. Derevyanchenko comes back. Beautiful uppercut.
Sergey Derevyanchenko is going through the cut.
won too many of them decisively.
I mean, they've got to be thrilled with the work. Derevyanchenko has been terrific. Up against a severe test here tonight. Trilogy would be looming. This could certainly derail that. See, the eye is closed up. Good uppercut by Golovkin to open up round 9. They get right at it. The punch, evident. I believe he does think that, right?
I think he believes
and they will just go to the judges' cards at the end of 12 rounds. Right now, Chris Mannix is giving even nods to him, showing him the respect. Sergio are just short and hard. Golovkin fires back. Now with the running up. With DAZN, has his own promotional company, getting into a long-term deal with the...
He cut him jabbing towards the left eye. All these adjustments he made, now he got to just let his hands go more.
Pounding on Golovkin. Hooks to the head. Golovkin is wobbled. The crowd is behind Golovkin. Golovkin is firing now. Derevyanchenko, good defensive work. And he fires.
Throw his hands. What kind of reaction do you get from him?
So tight. Again, those punches. The jab, right hand, straight up the middle.
We've ever seen. What type of reaction are you getting out of him?
Sergio, I think Canelo Alvarez set a bit of a blueprint. That if you can take these punches, you can throw a lot more back.
Nation work, backing up Golovkin, not forgetting the body. Just incredible stuff.
This is a man who's 33 years old. He fires back with a jab and a right hand. Wow, Derevyanchenko coming right back. All together. Boxing beautifully throughout the night. Look at him fire back again. Every time Golovkin starts.
Extremely tight round. I don't think they can be truly comfortable that they've won two.
Another fire.
Golovkin had an opportunity to fight Derevyanchenko when Canelo dropped out of that fight.
Important to note, final minute of this fight. Derevyanchenko.
Bloody, bruised, knocked down.
Fires a right hand over the top. Straight up the middle.
Thank you, Brian. Coach Rozier, how do you see this fight developing?
Golovkin, though, heart of a champion. Hall of Famer, Sergey Derevyanchenko. 35 knockouts in his 39 wins. final 30 seconds. Let's see what they got. Uppercut by Golovkin. Derevyanchenko has him on the ropes. Now they spin out.
When the final bell rang, the entire Madison Square Garden crowd rose to their feet. This was a true war. Derevyanchenko, despite the cut and the punishment he had taken, had fought the fight of his life, forcing Golovkin to dig deeper than ever before. Many in the arena and at home wondered, did Golovkin just lose? But after a tense wait, the judges delivered a split decision. Gennady Golovkin was declared the winner. Even as his hand was raised, his face, red, swollen, and exhausted, told a different story. He knew this had been one of the toughest nights of his career. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this fight, folks. Did Triple G truly deserve the win, or did Derevyanchenko do enough to take the victory? Let me know in the comments.